Hello guys, welcome back to Plastic Action UK, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about weathering. Now, I'm going to use one of these. Now, we already have a basic barrel painting tutorial up on the page. I'll get Ben to leave a little link right about here somewhere, hopefully, and if not, it'll be in the description down there. So you can go and check that out if you just want to do a basic paint job on one of these. These are just the barrels you can pick up from the pound shop, dollar store, all those sort of places. All I've done at the minute is spray it black with a black primer. I used the Citadel Chaos Black because I think it gives me, personally, the best wear and finish on it. It's super strong when it's dry, which is quite good for what we're going to be doing later. Now, for the rest of it, you don't need that much to do the basics. What you need: hairspray, any brand. This is just one that I got in one of those Christmas gift packs that I'm still using, and spray paint. Whatever colour you prefer. Ideally, if you can, use an airbrush. You'll get a much better result using an airbrush, but if you're careful with this, don't go too heavy with it, it's fine, which is good because my airbrush is broken, so I'm having to make do at the minute with what I've got until I can get a new airbrush. Then let me put it back here so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Paintbrush, water. And to get the basics of what we're doing, that is it. Now, there will be a bit more to it and we'll go through that later. But for now, I'm going to go outside. I'm not going to film this bit because you all know how to spray something. It's not difficult. But I'm going to take that, put a couple of coats over the barrel, let it dry, spray it with this, let that dry, and then I will be back with the next step. For you, it will just be a couple of seconds. For me, it's probably going to be a few hours because this takes quite a while to dry, and it's not the nicest of days today. Hopefully the sun will come out and it will dry off a bit quicker. We shall see. So I will see you next. And we're back. So you can see, sprayed it up, and the point of doing the hairspray before is that the paint is going to stick to the hairspray, not to your base layer. So as you can see, in areas already like here, the paint has already started chipping away by itself. Up here, a little bit there, sort of down here, which makes the next step even easier. Now hopefully this works. Got your water. We're going to start putting the water on. Giving it a bit of a scrub. Hopefully the camera's not moving around too much while I'm doing this. And as you can see, the paint starts lifting. Which then reveals the paint underneath, which is exactly what we want. So now we've just got to go around the whole thing doing this. So as this is probably going to take quite a while, I'm just going to crack on get it done. And as you can see what we're doing now, you don't need to sit here and be bored watching me do the whole thing. So as soon as it's done, I'll come back and we can look at the next steps. Right, you probably noticed we jumped a bit ahead. I had a bit of a video issue, and then I was trying to film doing the rust, and it was a nightmare trying to film it because I have to get it so close. But I'm going to go through exactly what I did in a little area that I've left just for this reason. So you can see here, I've gone through with the old rust colour, and all I'm doing is going over all the chips that we've made basically with that colour. Not every single one, I've left some black. Obviously if I actually had my airbrush, I would probably have just done the whole thing that colour rather than black, but I do kind of like the fact that you've got a few different colours coming through. So you can see I've done that, and then I've gone through with the lighter rust tone and just dabbed over the top. So I'm just going to show you what I mean. You can see here I've left some bits. I've only left a tiny bit because it's bloody hard to do this while keeping it on the camera. But as you can see, I'm just literally going through very carefully. Just, you don't have to do it all because you want some darker areas still. But it's just a case of going through and very carefully going and filling in little gaps like that. And it looks really, really bright at the minute, I know, but it does dry a bit lighter, so you end up, I see I chipped away a bit more than I actually wanted to here, so I've ended up with a big spot of rust. So what I've done is, after I've done the light rust orange on the bottom of that, I've again gone over it with the dark rust deposit, the crusted rust from AK, just to kind of darken it up a little bit. That's got a little bit more texture to it with this one, so you end up with a bit more of a textured look, which I think you would get on like a large area like this. Generally for large areas I won't use most of these paints, I'll use my own rust mixture that I make up, which I will probably get to in another video. But one thing at a time, eh? One thing at a time. So, the last effect that we want to add is this, and this one is my most enjoyable one because it looks really crap when you put it on, and then with a little bit of work it looks really, really good. So this is called the streaking rust, and obviously self-explanatory, it's the rust streaking down. So what we'll do is we'll get a little bit of it on the brush, find an area that you want to do it, so here, and just pop a streak down. That is literally all you're doing. So we'll do it in a few different areas. Probably have a bit coming down from here, say. One there. A lot of the time you'll see areas where you've almost got it going like that anyway from the chip in, so it's more of a case of just following those. Put one down there, and like I say, at the minute This really does not look good. It just looks like I'm painting big brown lines straight on a fairly weathered and well done paint job. It's not the best. I know a lot of people can do a lot better than this, but I'll do my best. I like stuff coming down from the top as well. Make that one a bit darker. Let's put one down there. One there. That will have run across, so we'll put one in there. Let's carry that one down actually. So, as you can see, we've got a few. I'm going to darken these up a bit because I think they're a little bit too light. We've got a few rust streak lines there, and let's not beat around the bush. Like this, they look a bit shit. They don't look like streaking rust whatsoever, they just look like I've painted some lines on a barrel. And that we do not want. So, I really should stop. Less is more, but hey. It's a demonstration video, let's go over the top. I'll darken these up. So, next we're going to get, unfortunately, Stinky White Spirit until I get the non-stinky White Spirit. And dip our brush in, get some of the excess off. And then we'll start with, say, this one because it's fairly well on camera. And because this is enamel, when you're doing this, you're thinning it out. And bringing it down. Feather the edge out a bit more. And that looks a hell of a lot better than just big lines. You get it from both sides and just bring it down. Now you're trying to be as vertical as possible because obviously gravity will just pull it straight down. You're not going to be running off to the side generally, so they're the sort of things you need to remember when you're doing this. You want these lines to be as straight as you can get them. Just keep dragging it down. And you end up with something that looks like that. So, I'm going to go through, get all of these done, feather it in at the top a bit there, keep dragging it down. And when this is done, I'll show you the end result. And that is that. There's a couple of areas like around here that I'm going to go back in and try and tidy up a bit, but it gives you the idea of what we're aiming for. So that is that. It gives you quite a nice nasty looking barrel for any Dio. These are the paints I've used for this one, and They are specialist paints, but they're not expensive specialist paints. You can see here that one was £4.49. I think this one was £4.99, and they're about £2.80 each. So yeah, it's about, say, 15, less than 15 quid. 15 quid if you include that you need some white spirit, and if you want to get the decent non-stinky stuff, you're looking at about 15 quid. But that 15 quid will do you hundreds of barrels or the little propane tanks, anything. Like I've done like 4 barrels and a few tanks, and it's barely even touched these at all. So it's worth investing. Now, obviously, if I do larger scale things like the big dumpsters and things like that, I'll use my own rust paint that I make up myself, because I think it's better for bigger areas. But for the small areas, I think this works absolutely fine. It gives you a nice effect. And is really simple to do. Like I say, if you want to do just the chipping, you could just spray it black, or you could spray it brown. Do your chipping, and that would probably be enough just to stick it on a die. But if you want to take it that extra step, that's all you got to do. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully it's helped you along and shown you a few techniques that I'll use. I'll try and do a few more of these sort of videos, so if there's anything anyone can think of that they'd like to see, by all means fire a comment down there. We'll have a look at them and I'll see what else I can do. Remember, we've got plenty of other stuff on the channel. Karl, as I said at the start, has already done a barrel painting video, which is perfect for just a quick, easy barrel painting. If you want loads of them done really quick, just to stack on a die somewhere, that's perfect. I've done this on a barrel, but you can do this on all sorts. I'll throw a pic up at the end of the little corner workshop that I've just finished, and I used this method on the propane tanks, the large acetylene cylinder that I scratch built, even the shelving unit that I scratch built for it. All was done with this technique, so you can use it for pretty much anything. A barrel is just the easiest thing to show it off on, and I've got plenty of these lying around. I'm still waiting for more of the propane tank pencil sharpeners to turn up. But like I say, if you want to go through anything else, scratch building, painting, anything dio wise, by all means leave a comment and I'll do my best to see what we can do. And we've got plenty of other things on here. We've got reviews, photography techniques, tips, all sorts, bit of custom work with Ben. So plenty of stuff to check out on the channel. And until next time, I'll catch you later.